Hello, everyone. Welcome back to What Businesses Need to Know Right Now. I have a guest with me today, Melissa Mellor. Nice to meet you. We're just getting to meet each other today for the first time, so I'm excited to bring you Melissa, and she's got some really great things to say about the changes that we need to make in the workplace, given all that's been going on. So, first of all, let me just give you kind of a little overview about Melissa. I'm going to use my cheat notes here. She's done some awesome stuff, and I love your background, Melissa, because it's so interesting what brings people to the work that they do, and you have a really interesting background. So hopefully we can dig into that as well. But Melissa is the CEO of Hey You Humana, globally recognized mental health and human wellness company. They serve corporations and individuals in over 80 countries around the world with over 15 different applications. So through her work at Hey You Human, Melissa is revolutionizing leadership, how businesses conduct work and lead their staff. Melissa's passionate about shifting the workplace and how we engage our people. So she believes it's time to connect with and engage the whole human to create an unstoppable workforce. I could not agree more. We are not just ourselves at work or ourselves at home. We are whole people. So if you're a human with emotions or you interact with other humans with emotions, you'll want to hear what Melissa has to say. I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love talking about all of this. I love talking about workplace, about leadership, and the human that is, the fuel that runs the engine of the workplace, that is typically the most under maintained asset in the workplace. So I'm really excited to talk about just shifting our mentality around how we relate to the human.
I agree. And I think it's so important that we are talking about and preserving this vessel and the soul within as we do our work. We're just, as I said, we're not just one aspect, we're all of it. If we're not talking about our whole person and how it relates, then we're missing a really important part of business. Without our people, we don't have businesses. So let's dig in there. There's a lot that's changed in the workplace over the last 2 years, really, 2.5 years. We were going in one direction, and maybe that wasn't the healthiest. We shifted to accommodate and adapt for COVID, and now we're all kind of like figure out where that lands us. So what do you think? What are your thoughts on how we need to adapt? What do we need to be paying attention to with regard to people in the workplace?
Right. So I love this question because I feel like the workplace has been changing for a while. Employers just never really had massive incentive to change with it. There's so much that goes on in running a business. There's so much. And we have a ton of corporations that are people first. And I believe that generally employers really do believe that. They want their people to come to work. They want their people to be happy, to have a good experience, to not have that like punch the clock mentality. But people have changed. People have started wanting something different, and employers just aren't entirely sure what that means yet. And so when Hey You Human, or when we coach, when we talk about the future of work, we talk about how we relate to the human, and specifically the whole human. Employers, and if you're an ops person, I see you, I understand you, we have a responsibility to our bottom line. And it can feel at times that engaging the whole human, or making sure that our people are happy, 100% happy, can feel like a cost center. It can feel like, at what point is it no longer the employer's responsibility? At what point do you have to deal with your divorce, deal with your kids being bullied, deal with your addiction issue? Like, at what point do we cut the tie, right? Like, where does one start and stop? Because no longer can we just say, check your personal life at the door, or don't bring your work home with you. And with COVID, we saw that it just changed exponentially, because now we were working at home. We were brought so many different stressors that never really came into the workplace. And so when I talk about engaging the whole human, I talk about understanding, I call it root cause emotional intelligence. It's not just about the output that people put forward to us, it's the emotions that are basically running the show. At Hey You Human, we talk quite a bit about emotions, and I don't even like using the term emotion because emotion has such a negative connotation associated with it. So I'll say it's your body's visceral response. But so often right now, what we're seeing is people are managing symptoms. When it comes to mental health or just making our people happy, we are dealing with the symptoms. You're a cool employer, you tap a keg on Fridays occasionally, like, yay, it's a fun workplace. You have somebody that has a mental health issue, you're giving them time off. You have an employee that doesn't like one of their coworkers, you move them to a different project. You have somebody who is feeling overwhelmed, you reduce their workload. We are managing symptoms. We are running around essentially pandering without actually saying, hey, how do we stop this visceral response in the first place? And I equate that to, it's like taking your car, or if you're an ops person and you invest in an asset, you buy a piece of equipment, you do all of your analysis to say like, yes, this is the return we're going to get on this investment. This is what we need to do this is the type of storage we need for it. This is the maintenance schedule. This is what the depreciation looks like. This is how profitable it's going to be. We put it on a schedule. We make sure that that piece of equipment is in tip-top shape so you can get as much out of it as physically possible. And then with our employees, it's like the equivalent of seeing that their engine, I'm not a car person, this is a terrible analogy, I should really do like more research on mechanics, but so it's like the equivalent is saying that like, oh, you need an oil change, let me just get you a new garage to sit in. What? No, that doesn't make sure that my engine is running. And that's what we're doing with our people, is we're just kind of using the extremities. We're trying to keep the extremities of the employee happy, and then wondering why they're not happy, wondering why they can't cope, wondering why going back to the office feels terrifying when We've been doing it since the dawn of time. It's because we got to get to that core issue, which has nothing to do with work, but has everything to do with the profitability of your company, because your employees will have a different level of an engagement with you when their entire human is activated and working at its optimum level.
So if we use your analogy then and just kind of extend it to people, then what you're saying is we should be treating people like that best machine that we've got on the line. Right. We should be making sure that it has regular maintenance, that it's being upgraded at regular intervals, that any broken parts are being replaced. Yeah. Let's not think too closely on that one. And that it's running at its optimum best. So what are your recommendations? Because I have imagined that you have some.
Yeah, of course I do. Well, we are the creators of a proprietary method. It's called the rapid relief technique. And it is the tool to get to the core emotion. Very often what we see in mental health or any type of talk therapy, any type of modality out there, we work at cognitively understanding our emotion, right? You're overwhelmed because it's tax season. We're constantly justifying away why we're having this visceral response. You're going through a divorce, you're scrambled, and it's like, you understand you're dealing with abandonment issues, you're dealing with maybe fidelity issues, you're dealing with your children. Like, we understand why we are so drained on a cognitive level, but we don't as adults actually know how to feel emotion. We are taking logic and emotion, which are two completely independent parts of our body and of our nervous system. And we're saying, well, we're healing the emotion, we're healing the logic. Why isn't the emotion happy? It's not at all the same. And so the rapid relief technique allows us to access that core emotion, feel it, heal it so that it's gone, so that we can actually anchor into a happy space. When you're not carrying all this baggage around, it's amazing what you can accomplish.
So do you teach people this? Do you teach people how to teach their teams this? Or how do you see this applied,
in leadership? Well, we do teach it. So we teach the rapid relief technique. You can actually learn the rapid relief technique for free. It's something that we believe should be available to all humans. And it's not something that is a luxury, in our opinion. So you just drop the link. If somebody wants to go and learn the rapid relief technique for free, they can do so right here. And you can start integrating the teachings immediately. However, if you like this concept and you learn it for free or you're hearing what I'm saying and you're like, F it, I don't want to mess around with free training. I don't want to try and figure this out on my own. If you are a leader, if you're somebody who is in the workplace, this is something Hey You Human does. We teach your leadership. We teach you how to relate to your staff with this degree of emotional intelligence, this new root cause emotional intelligence. And believe it or not, a lot of times I deal with companies and they're really worried about becoming this like boohoo cry center. It's actually what we call radical responsibility. It's at a certain point, you can only do so much for your people. And if you've given them the tools and the resources, you then can model radical responsibility in helping them heal, so that instead of having the same reoccurring issues coming up in your workplace over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, you can heal it and be done. And so we teach leaders how to bring that into their workplace, bring that into their culture, bring that into how they lead and how they make business decisions, and how they can model this belief system so that their employees are actually healing their mental health, healing the issues that they're carrying with them into work every single day. So you can get the most amazing return on your investment in that beautiful, genius piece of equipment that you paid for, that you want to see happy and healthy.
I love it. It's so good. I have more questions. I want to see like lightning round here. Can we answer this really quickly? I'm curious because you had a background that I don't know. I would say it's a little bit of a stretch to be like, well, how did you get from there to here? So I'd love to, enlighten us. Tell us a little bit about your background and how that led you to the work that you're doing now.
Yeah. I have 15 years in hazardous waste management. Not something that I set out to do. My degree is actually in human resources, and I started in hazardous waste management as like an assistant role. And I had a really great leader at the time who recognized I was more business savvy than HR savvy. And I started getting more into the business side of waste, emergency responses, train derailments, chemical transfers, spill cleanups, just general waste disposal. I'm located in Canada, so it was a really cool experience. After the birth of my third, I just really wanted something different. I was so tired of grinding, trying to prove my worth, trying to be the best, trying to get the recognition that I felt that I deserved, that I never really got. I was a high performer. I was the go-to for many, many things, but never, worthy of comparable pay. And I just was done. And so I decided I wanted to start my own business, which I did. And I kind of fumbled around for a little bit. And I started doing business management and supporting other women in business. I understood business. I understood ops. I understood automation. And there were all of these incredibly talented, fascinating women, fascinating businesses out there that didn't know how to run a business. They knew how to provide an exceptional service, but they did not know how to grow their business. They did not know how to scale their business. And one day I got connected. One of my clients was at the time running a coaching business. And her and I just instantly were like a match made in heaven. And she said, what do I have to do for you to be my COO? I don't want you to have any other clients. And we started down that road and down that conversation. And she has since become the founder, and more, we call her the lead magnet of the business, and I run the business. But my client was somebody who just had the exact same ambitions as me of creating a workplace where all humans feel equal and valued, and dropping the stigma around how smart and savvy business people are supposed to operate, what it meant to be a successful business. We don't operate in deadlines. We don't operate with high stress. It's really bizarre how I had to unravel my brain, because I realized how being busy meant that I was valuable. And I caught myself in a mind trap of that. And the rapid relief technique helped me, get out of that and create a new standard for what it meant for me as a leader, our business, our team, how we make money, how we make our business decisions. And it has been the most amazing journey.
Awesome.
That was my lightning answer. I told you I talk a lot. I can't keep anything short.
I was forewarned, but it's fascinating. And I really appreciate what you're sharing, because I know that a lot of people who are listening are probably nodding along like, oh yeah, that was me, or that is me. And I'm sure that they're going to be following the link. The link is heyyouhuman.com/RRT, rapid relief technique, RRT accelerator. So go get it, check it out, see how it works, and then reach out to Melissa, because I'm sure she can be a great support to you as you're applying this for yourself and your teams. That description that you just had of you as a high achiever describes most of the people that we work with. For our listeners, if that is you, if you're a high achiever and you're in business and you want to know how to grow and scale, how to create a sustainable, proven path, just like you've experienced in so many other areas of your life, like in school and in your work, but you want that for your business, I would encourage you to text the word freedom to 411-321. Internationally, there's a WhatsApp number for this. I'll post it below as well. And what you'll receive is the How to Succeed in Business, the Proven Path to Success for High Achievers, when you text this word. So I encourage you to do so and check that out. Thank you so much, Melissa, for joining us. I hope our listeners will come again and get some more goodness in what businesses need to know right now. Take care.
Bye.